Morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Coach Esu. Good morning, Coach Arabella, Coach Sarah. Are you here? I'm sure you're here.
Yes,
All right.
good morning, sir.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for this class. I think this is like the second to the last class, right? I'm right.
Left it
So so
next
by
week.
this class we're supposed to give right. I'm right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so by this class we're supposed to give our project. So at the end of this class we should give our project. For that, if you want to make a different video, probably not planned for that in this class, but if you did, please just give that out today. All right, everyone, you're welcome once again. My name is Martin, and I'm here with my wonderful coaches that will be taking us for content writing class. So I would leave the floor right now for them to continue their class. So Coach Jesu and Coach Sarah, who is going next? Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to today's edition on content writing. And today we're talking about exploring grammar and vocabulary rules. And we have a lot of gingering underneath. So just stay glued with us, and it's going to be an exciting ride. So, Arabella, welcome. Welcome on board.
Thank
We
you,
missed
sir.
you.
Good
We missed you in our
morning.
last session. Yes.
I missed you guys too.
Welcome back. So let's dive straight into what we'll be dealing today. So, as an introduction, writing is more than just putting words on paper. Yeah, it's about expressing ideas clearly and effectively. So, how do you now tell someone what you want to do if you cannot clearly state it? How do you request for, how do you write a letter to your mom requesting for upkeep in a boarding house if you cannot put it down into writing? And then you're not allowed to make phone calls. I know back then when we were in boarding school, we're not allowed to make phone calls. All you have to do is to send a letter through your friend to your parents. So how do you convey this information to your parents? We then we had pen pals where you do write to your friends. So how do you put this into writing? How do you make them feel what you are feeling? That is why we are here. So grammar is a whole lot of it. And grammar is to build correct sentences, while vocabulary is to make your writing rich and varied. When we mean varied, we mean diversify, like different dimensions. You get, so the vocabulary you use in content writing is different from the vocabulary you use in sports, different from the vocabulary we use in cooking. Yes, I like cooking, so let's use cooking today as an analogy. So editing and proofreading is to refine and correct your mistakes. So when you edit, you see, I wanted to write A-N-D and I wrote A-S or A-N-S. Like, when you're typing, so S comes before your D. So you might have some little typo. So that's where you do editing. And proofreading is you reading it and is this what I'm trying to convey? That's how my tone is. I think I should reduce it. Then lastly, practice exercises to strengthen your skills. Yeah. So you have to practice now and then to strengthen your skills. So on our next slide, grammar and vocabulary rules. Arabella, the floor is to you now, please.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much, sir. So, basic grammar concept. Grammar is like the rule of a game, right? It helps us construct sentences clearly. So, grammar is the rules that guide how you write or how you use your English words, right? What do I put before what? Do I put my verbs first? Do I put my nouns? If I use a singular noun, what would I put after a singular noun? So every rule that guides, that makes your writing to come out sharp, to come out well, and to come out good is grammar, right? It helps us to construct sentences clearly. Now, we'll cover parts of speech such as nouns, verbs, and adjectives. And I believe that this class is going to be interesting because this is like our basic English that we do every day. From primary school, we've been taught nouns, we've been taught what verbs are, we've been taught part of speech, right? So this class is going to be interesting because this is something that we are conversant with. Now, and how the right punctuations can make our sentences shine. We have full stop, we have comma, we have so many punctuation marks, right? And when you know how to use them properly, you will get comes to parts of speech and punctuations. Now we'll go quickly into parts of speech. Parts of speech. When I want to create a beautiful speech, when I want to create a beautiful write-up, there are certain things I must look into. The first one is my noun, right? Nouns, like we already know, are naming words, names of people, places, things, ideas. My name is a noun, your name is a noun, the name of Nigeria, the name of this country is a noun. This app that we are using is everything that has a name is a noun. So you can hardly create a sentence without using a noun or create a whole content without putting a person's name, the name of a place, the name of a thing, or even the name of an idea. Now, the second thing is pronoun. Now, pronouns are words that are used instead of nouns. Now, imagine that you're having a conversation with somebody and you're always mentioning their name, their name, their name. It looks so weird, like so absurd, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's
be blessing did this, blessing did that, blessing did this. You can say she did this, blessing did this, then she did this. Why? Because you are what putting a pronoun instead of a noun. So pronouns are very important because they make your work to stand out. Instead of you to define a verb. If I am running, running is a verb. If I am eating, eating is a verb. If I am reading, even if I am sleeping, I believe sleeping is also a verb because I am doing something.
it's again.
So verbs are anything, any action that you carry out is considered to be a verb. I'm jumping, I'm dancing, it's a verb. The next one is adjective. Now, adjectives are words that describes nouns. Now, if I want to describe my best friend, for instance, there's a way I would love to describe her, right? And I would love it to look so real, so realistic, and I can add adjectives. Now, if I want to talk about, let's say, my best friend's name, for instance, is Blessing. I don't know, I'm using Blessing, but let's just say Blessing. Now, if I want to talk about Blessing and I want to say how beautiful Blessing looks, I will not just say Blessing is a girl. I can say Blessing is a beautiful girl. Why? Because I am trying to describe who Blessing is. I am trying to describe who blessing is. So adjectives help us to describe nouns better, to help people to actually have a picture of what we are saying. Next one are adverbs. Adverbs are words that describe a verb, an adjective, or other adverbs. Now, it tells you how you do something. That's how adverbs are. If I am running, am I running fast? Am I running slowly? That's an adverb. If I am dancing, how am I dancing? So it helps me to describe the action I am performing, right? If I am sleeping, how am I sleeping? If I am working, how am I working? So anything I am doing at all, it helps you to understand how a person is doing it well, so that I can have a picture in my mind. So writing a good content is about having a picture in your mind. If I'm reading your content, I'm having a picture in my mind. Your content is beautiful. So adverb helps us to describe actions very well. Now,
Obviously.
preposition show relationships between words. It shows us where a particular thing is. Is the cat on the table or under the table? Is the ball on the table or under the table? So prepositions show us the positions of certain things between, in, on. She went into the house. He is on the tree. Anything that describes the position of a particular thing is a preposition, and you must definitely use a preposition in your content to help us describe where you are or where a particular thing is located. Now, the next one is conjunction, right? Conjunctions help us to join words and sentences together. You can use and, but, because. Why? Because they are joining two sentences together. I was to go to the market yesterday, but I slept off. That's a conjunction. I was supposed to go to the market yesterday, but something happened. But I ate too much. But I slept. But I went to another place. So I am adding two different activities together in one sentence. The last one we're using is interjection. Now, interjections show feelings, and this one help us to express how something feels to us. If somebody gets me a beautiful gift, the first thing
Wow.
I know myself I will say is, "Aww." If I see a picture of somebody proposing to somebody, the first thing I'll do is, "Aww." So that's an interjection, right? I am expressing how I'm feeling. If maybe I see a beautiful scene or I read something beautiful in what you wrote, I say, wow, that's an interjection. So it helps us to express our feelings so people can really feel how it touches us. If maybe we step on a sharp object, ouch, it's also an interjection. So anything that helps people to know that you felt something at that moment is an interjection. Now, using the right words can make writing colorful. We'll explore common vocabularies, including synonyms and antonyms, and learn how to use descriptive words to express ourselves better in our writing. So, when you use the right words, your writing will always be beautiful. Why? Because people can relate. People love write-ups that they can relate to, right? People love write-ups that they can relate to. So, vocabularies help us to use the right words. Now, the next one we're going to is vocabulary rule. Growing your word garden. Now, one of the things I have learned over the years that helps you as a writer is when you have words, like words at hand, when you don't always have to go and look for words. If we are having a conversation, if I'm writing something, I should have enough words, or at least minimum 50% of the words I want to use to write. Now, vocabulary is like a box of colors. The more words you know, the more colorful your writing becomes, right? If you're always repeating a particular word over and over and over in your writing, it becomes boring. But when you can use different words, different things added to your writing becomes beautiful. Now, you must always learn new words. It's very important. If you're going to be a beautiful and a sought after writer, which I really want each of us in this place to be, you need to have words, learn new words, have a notebook where you have new words. Every day when you read something, when you see something, ask yourself, what new word can I learn? And the meanings and words that I like with it so that I can add it to my sentences. Now let's look at synonyms. Synonyms are words that mean the same or almost the same things, right? When you hear synonyms, it means words that are alike. We have an example here. It says big. Can you think of words that relate to big? What other word can I use instead of big? Let's say the cat is big. What other word can I use instead of big? We can use large. We can use huge. We can use enormous. These are different words that are similar, or you can say they are the same thing with big. So if I don't want to use big in my first paragraph, use big again and use big again, I can use large, I can use huge, and I can use enormous. Now, antonyms are words that are opposite in meaning. If I'm saying A, what is the opposite of A? We'll figure that out. So antonyms are words that are opposite. If you use hot, what is the opposite of hot? Cold. If something is not hot, it has to be cold. There's no really in between much, even though we try to make it in between. But if something is not hot, it is cold. And if somebody is not happy, they are sad, right? So the opposite of something, if something is not opened, it is closed. If something is not up, it is down. So antonyms are opposite, and you need to learn the antonyms of the words that you use, okay? And you need to also learn the synonyms of the words that you use. Now, context clues. Now, guess meanings by looking at the whole sentence, and that is so true. There are certain words that mean different things depending on the context. Let me give us a rough example that I always like to use. We have money. We have money, right? Now, depending on where you are using that money, will tell what that money will be called. If I bought a bus and I have money, at that moment, that money is my transport fare. If I'm going to school and I have money, at that moment, that money is my school fees. If I am renting a house and I have money, because I am paying my landlord, that money is my house rent, right? So that's what money. But because of it is used in different places, it means different. And if I'm going to church with my money, that money is my offering. So one thing can mean different things depending on the environment, what I would call context. You can say environment. The environment that you use it depends on what that word will mean. Now,
Obviously.
an example says the parrot is a tropical bird. It likes warm places. Tropical means warm. So at that moment, because you're using it in that sentence and you're using it to refer to a parrot, tropical will mean warm at that moment. Now let's quickly look at word families. Play. We have plays, we have played, which is the past tense, we have playing, the continuous tense, and we have playful. We have kind, we have kindly, kindness, we have unkind. So one word can have different families. It's like you now, you have different family members. You have your brother, you have your sister, your mother, your father, and you all are in one family, right? So one word has families. You can use one word and make many other words just from having one word. All these you need to learn, and it doesn't start in one day, right? Sorry, it doesn't happen in one day, but it starts with all the synonyms in one day. How will I know all the antonyms in one day? It does not happen, but you can start in one day. You can start in one day.
That's
Thank you,
beautiful.
sir.
That's beautiful. So that's beautiful. Yeah. So when we talk about vocabularies and grammars, Arabella has done a digest on that. So I don't think you should have any issues when you're about to write something about vocabulary. Do you get? So having all this in mind, your pen is just like that of a ready writer. You get. So now we're talking about editing and proofreading techniques. So now think of
Oh,
editing
coach,
like
sorry. Can you hear me?
can you hear
Sorry.
me?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
hear you. Sorry for distracting you. Sida and Sophia have joined and they cannot open their camera or something. So I want you to direct them on how to open their camera.
Yeah. Hi. Who's doing about on his birthday? Is it okay?
Okay.
Hi. Then, yeah.
Hi,
Hi.
Sida and Sophia. I can hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What do you mean
Are you
I
with
should
me?
open my camera?
You want to see your face?
What
Oh, my face?
beautiful, yeah, Sophia. Want to see your face. Is Sida with you? Nice. Where is Sida?
I'm fine. She's not around.
Okay, all
She's
right.
not here now.
So just keep your camera open while the coach are teaching so that they'll be sure you can hear them, right?
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, sir. Coach Esu, can you hear me? I guess your network is crappy. Can you hear me?
Okay. I okay.
Okay, you can go ahead. Because of the sharing from his end, let's see.
Okay.
Just go ahead. He will join in soon. I think his network is crappy. Just go ahead.
Okay, sir. So we're talking about editing and proofreading, right? Editing and proofreading. Now, I believe that every write-up needs to be edited. Every write-up needs to be edited. Now, what is editing? Editing is like picking out the weeds in your garden, right? So you are writing something and it's a beautiful farmland, right? You have a very beautiful farmland right there. And then let's say you planted, let's say maize, right? You planted maize in your farmland, and you come tomorrow and find out that you have so many grasses. What do you do as a good farmer? You are supposed to pick out the weeds and ensure that all the weeds are gone so that your maize can grow properly. Now that's how editing is. When you are editing something, it means that you're picking out those words that are not supposed to be there, those sentences that are not supposed to be there, anything that you do not want to be in your write-up, you are picking them out. Now, one thing about editing that you should always remember about editing is that one, do not edit while you are writing. It's very bad and very wrong because it stops you from thinking fast. If I write one line and then I have to pick out the weeds, I am not going to write much because why? Writing most times comes with inspiration. Not every time, but writing most times comes with inspiration. So if you are writing something, ensure that all the ideas in your heart you pour them out. Ensure that all the ideas in your heart you pour them out. And when you are done pouring it out, in fact, you can pour out your ideas, then you can wait, you can rest, you can sleep over it, then wake up and come back to it and say, oh, I wanted to write and I mistakenly wrote end. Let me correct it to and, right? I want to write two lines and I mistakenly wrote three lines. What can I adjust in this writing? It is better that you edit when you are done writing than for you to edit in between writing. Now, think of editing like building a Lego house. Now, if you want to build it, you build it, then you can fix it. It looks what neat and strong. Your writing should look neat and strong, just like a Lego house when you are done what editing. Now, editing makes your writing better. When you see people having beautiful write-ups out there, trust me, they edited their write-ups. When you read beautiful books and you say, wow, this book is so beautiful, the way they wrote it is beautiful, the sentence structure is beautiful, everything about the book is beautiful. It is because that person edited it. Sometimes I can write one line of something and later, let's say maybe few hours later, few days later, I find out that I can add more to what I have written. That's what adding more details. So if I'm writing something, if you are writing something, right, then when you are done, you can ask yourself, what can I expatiate? What can I increase? Maybe I wrote only one line and I think I have more ideas or more things I can add to this one line. Two, change boring words into stronger words. There are some words that when I read it, I just feel, okay, it's just a word. And there are some words that when you read it, you stop and you think, say, wow, this is very interesting. So this thing actually happens. Why? Because of what? You are changing those words. So if when you read a sentence during your editing, ask yourself, what word can have more power? What word can be more exciting for me to use? Then you change those simple words to something more exciting that your readers will read and will love what you're writing. And three, make sentences clear. When you read what you are writing during editing, ask yourself, can somebody understand what I am trying to tell them from this sentence? And if it is not clear, ensure that you adjust your sentence to ensure that anybody that is reading it will be able to understand your sentence clearly. Thank you. So, Boss Asa, you're up for the next slide, sir.
Okay. I think the next slide has covered a lot of what you've said. So here we're talking about proofreading. So, in proofreading, we have a lot of jobs to do where you have to check for the small mistakes, where you are looking for little spelling errors, which you've elucidated already, where if you're writing and then you write ANS instead of AND, or let's say you're trying to write a letter to your parents and you write dear ma or dear mom, I hope this message finds you well. Then instead of writing dear, like instead of writing DEAR, and then you're writing DEER, like dear mom. So your mom at first will look at you, what is this child writing? Like, did this child go to school? Like, instead of writing DEAR, writing DEER. Dear is an animal and not an endearment that you're writing to your parent. So ensure that whatever you're writing is correct. Look out for your spelling errors where you don't make mistakes, because writing I hope this message finds you well. Instead of writing well, you're writing do you understand? So make sure that your capital letters are where the way they need to be. You don't have to put your capital letters in the middle of a sentence and then expect your reader to feel your own flow. So we have an exciting example here where before your editing, where you did not include your punctuations and your capital letters and all. So the example is, when we get to the park, let's eat grammar. So imagine you were going there with your sibling, and this is Sophia and Sida. Sida, can you hear me? Sophia, can you hear me? Yeah. So let's imagine you and your brother are going to the park, and then
Yes,
all of a
sir.
sudden you just made a statement. And when we get to the park, let's eat grandma. What does that tell? Someone hearing you from outside, or you wrote a note and pasted somewhere. Uh, there are no commas or foot stop anywhere. So it means when you get to the park, you have to eat your grandma, obviously. So after you're done editing and proofreading what you've written, so when you now write, when we get to the park, there's a pause. Let's eat grandma. So now you are now inviting your grandma to join you in your meal, and not that you want to devour your grandma. So there's a lot in writing. So there are little mistakes that you may neglect, but then it's a whole lot for someone else that's reading with understanding.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now just do it. Keep the teamwork going. Share your documents share your writings with your friends, and ensure that everything is sorted out. Do you understand? So this is like giving and receiving feedback in a positive way, and it makes writing way fun. So when someone now tries to engage you on conversation with what you have written, be like, oh wow, so is this what you meant? There's this excitement that comes in out of you. Yeah, I understand what this person is writing. Oh, thank God my readers understand what I'm trying to say. So now we talk about in conclusion, yeah, we say that writing is an adventure that gets better and better and better with practice. Remember, grammar and vocabulary are your friends. Grammar and vocabulary are your friends. So when you're writing, there's how you write, the grammar you use and the vocabulary you use to a 10-year-old child is different from the ones you give to your parents. The vocabulary you use in church is different from the vocabulary you're going to use to explain to your parents. So now look at the other slide when we talked about the word garden. Yeah, so you look at the small drama stuff that was there. Is cooking is the grammar in here. So the vocabularies there are the seasoning, the garnishing, the recipe, the sauce. You get all the stuff. So when you're talking about cooking, when you're writing about cooking, you have to put in all this stuff to ensure that your readers understand you. So editing helps. So editing helps. Keep writing. Don't hesitate. Share your stories unlimitedly and ensure that allow your thoughts to be wild. Just let it go. Let it flow. Leave those shitty first draft like we talked about. Keep writing, then edit. Share your stories with your friend, and then everything will get sorted out. So, do you have any questions? You can ask us now. And should you have further questions, you can ask us in our WhatsApp
Yes,
channel.
sir.
Yes. Do you have any question?
So,
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
Yes, sir.
What's your question?
Sir, I didn't start early.
Okay.
So the first thing you people were saying, I didn't really hear it.
Okay. So the thing is, we have a stipulated time for this class, so we could give you a little brief, and then you will rewatch the video as we've recorded so far. We'll make the recording available for everyone, so you watch in our groups, and then we'll have assignments for you, and we'll also share with you the assignments in a group. So after our coach Sarah will say a little rundown on it, and our team coordinator, our team director, our camp director rather, Blessed is going to say something after Sarah. So Sarah, over to you.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks very much
Yeah.
for the question. So we started by talking about grammar, right? We said grammar are the rules that guide your sentences. When you want to write a sentence, when you want to write about how you spent your last holiday, you will need to know how to write it. What punctuation would I use? Would I use a verb or would I use a noun? And we talked a lot about parts of speech. I believe that you have an idea about what parts of speech are. You know your nouns, you know your verbs, your pronouns, you know all of them. Yes, so that's what we talked about basically, right? So you just need to know, when do I use a noun? When do I call a person's name? When do I use he or she? When do I say the girl is beautiful? When do I say the man is tall, right? So that is basically what we talked about. And the fact that you need to have a notebook where you learn new words every day. Every day that you go out, you go to school, you go to your friend's house, you read a book, you watch a movie, ensure that you have a pen or a pencil and a book, and you write
Yes.
down in and you learn the
Yes.
meaning of the word and how to use the word in a sentence.
Yes. Because if you
Okay.
check properly, we sent you our books to download. We had a book, Assertive Power of Saying No, and we gave you an assignment for you to write
I
and
didn't
give us.
see the book.
Okay, we are going to reference all the assignments and the books for you guys so you can keep up to date. Thank you very much. Over to our camp director. Blessed, are you there?
Hello everyone, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Sophia. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much everyone for showing up for today's class. I'm really happy you showed up. Thank you to the tutors. So far, we have done an amazing job. So, Sophia, I'm going to recommend that you go back right? You ask mommy to go back and check on the group. There are so many links for all the previous videos, and also this one is going to be uploaded on the group as well. I'm going to reshare the link to where mommy can download the book for you so you could read it and then carry out all the assignments, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so have the projects been given? Were we
Yes.
supposed to give it today?
Yeah, we'll send it. We'll send it afterwards.
Okay. Okay. So Sophia, this weekend I would recommend that you watch all the videos and then take notes, because we've just gotten into our project phase and the project is going to be dropped on the group, okay? And you
Okay,
would
ma'am.
have to start working on your project.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for today's class. See you on Monday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Sophia.
Bye, Sophia.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Sida. Bye. Yeah.